Minerva! Say hello, welcome to the Minerva show. Come on, darling, I need to be on camera too. Can't just be Minerva, because you can't sit still for long enough to read a script. No, you can't. Who opens a retro arcade in 2024? And why? And for that matter, why am I doing this? Arcades were never as popular in the UK as in the USA. Most of our memories of arcades were formed in holiday destinations like holiday parks or seaside resorts, or in seasonal fairs as shown here. Outside of that, if you were lucky, you might get to play a Street Fighter II bootleg in a dark corner of a family restaurant, or the original in the cinema while waiting for your film to start. Nonetheless, many British gamers have fond memories of time spent in what little arcade game spaces we had available, and there are businesses in the UK today whose goal it is to give British consumers some of that arcade nostalgia while bringing the bigger, US-style arcade experience to Britain. Because I'm not the only one refusing to grow up. Hey, welcome to the Retro Sofa on tour. I'm Bill, this is Tommy.
Hello.
Hello. We're at the Retro Realm in Walsall. We called ahead and we asked if we could film. We can film, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. The Retro Realm opened in December 2024, so very new, and the collection's already looking pretty good. There's a great collection of arcade classics going back to Space Invaders.
This is all original from 1979, including all of the cardboard cutouts at the back. All the boards inside are original as well. It's one of the only machines I know when I come in the morning, I'm going to turn it on and it's going to work.
And some newer machines too. It's lacking rhythm games, but the owner assures me they're coming soon. It's got driving games, though one of them seemed to be out of order when I was there. But that's fine. It's a free play arcade. Let them know it's broken and move on to the next thing. No harm done. And the free play nature of it is ideal for bringing kids along. Unlike a lot of other modern retro arcades, this one's family friendly. It's not a bar, it's a retro themed diner with an arcade under it. This meant I could bring my nephew Tommy along to check it out. Those of us who grew up with arcades know that once you've put your coin in, you have to get as much playtime out of that coin as possible. When Tommy gets bored with a game, he just runs off. This being free play makes that okay, and it's a nice easy way to share retro games with the kids. I had a chat with the owner Craig about what the heck is going on and why anybody would open a free play arcade in 2024. What's your name?
Craig.
Craig, hi, I'm Bill. Nice to meet you.
How you doing, Bill? You're right, mate.
Nice to meet you. So how long have you been doing this?
We've been in now, it's basically our fourth week, so we're on our fourth weekend.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going all right.
It's obviously a labour of love for you, isn't it?
Oh, it is. That's what it is. That's what we've come into. So I come from the retro kind of scene anyway. So my first shop was 1996.
Yeah.
We owned a shop called Virtua Games, then we owned Gamebox, then Beyond Belief, Renegade Retros, Toys and Joys, then we teamed up with a company in Honolulu, Toys and Joys Honolulu, so yeah.
So, if I were to say how long you've been collecting, that's obviously a silly question, just always?
Always.
Yeah.
Still collect now. I've probably got enough to fill a CEX store, and that's crazy. So I've got things from like, you know, your really old stuff like your Famicom disc systems, to your SNESes, your NESes, then I've got like your Wonder Swans and your Multi-Megas and your Amstrad Mega PCs, your PC Engine GT, so I've got, you know, I've got an array.
There's a really cool thing to do with it, like you've got the collection, you've got to do something with it, you've done this.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I love
Well
it.
done. Yeah. Craig owns a ton of arcade machines, and what better to do with a ton of arcade machines than open an arcade? Same reason I've started this channel, really. I love games, I've got a collection, I wanted a way to show it off and give it some purpose outside of sitting in my house. And Craig has got a lot of the same problems we all have with retro tech, just on a slightly bigger scale. That screen's seen better days, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Buttons aren't super responsive either. That's just the nature of an arcade.
Okay, we've got a few machines drop down. That's a bit of a nightmare for us. We've had Final Furlong drop, we've had Mario Luigi drop down, we've had Ferrari, unfortunately, now we've got to get rid of. It's got to be scrapped, so we can't get parts for it anymore. The only guy we know is in Canada who can repair it, so unfortunately that's got to go.
So it's a challenge keeping like the old ways alive.
That's what we're trying to do. Which the biggest problem is it's so easy to repair to CRT and drop in an LED or an LCD screen. It's very, very simple, but we want to try and keep them original, because you get that kind of, the difference is the glow of the monitors, and you hear it turn on and you see the picture slowly come up. It's just, so we've got a CRT technician who works with us, but he's 63 years of age. He's worked in it since he was 16.
Yeah.
And he's 63 now, so yeah.
I feel like
Yeah.
there was a little while where there weren't any CRTs
Yeah.
at all. No one had any interest, but I feel like interest's gone up a little bit.
Oh, it's
like.
massive. That's why the prices have gone up. So a Sony Triniton telly now, you're probably fetching about £180 for it.
Yeah.
Where they're more on the landfill.
And that's what it's about, you know? It's nostalgia. Connecting back to what you remember from your past as accurately as you can. But accurate to what? To the reality, or to your fuzzy memories of it? Whether it's a retro arcade or a retro sofa in your house, you're striving for authenticity, but that's different things to different people. To me, it's getting as close as I can to how I remember these games, and to others, it's about giving these classic games the best chance to shine in the modern age. The retro realm and other modern retro arcades will always walk that line because the reality of unmodified retro hardware is that it's going to break, and modifying it in a way that respects the original experience is often your only realistic option over finding decades-old parts. By far though, most of what's in the retro realm is original hardware. I wonder how long that's going to work. The past is always slipping away from us, and you can't blame guys like me and Craig for wanting to hold on to it just a little bit longer and share it with the younger generation while we can.
So we've seen a lot of kids with parents.
Yeah.
Do you think you appeal more to the parents or the kids?
Parents. $1,000,000%. So what you get, you hear the kids saying after about an hour and a half, Dad, I just want to go home. And the dad's like, no, come on, we need to go and play Street Fighter, or we need to go and play this, or we need to go and play that. So the kids are like, come on, Dad, no, you've been here an hour and a half. It's that kind of feeling, you actually see it. They're like, Dad, come on, we've had enough.
We tried it with Tommy, yeah.
Yeah, and he's like, come on now, we want to go. And he's like, no, just one more game on this. So we did. Yeah. We always do that with Street Fighter. That seems to be one of them games.
That was it. That was what I said. I said, Tommy, we want to play Street Fighter. He's like, what's Street Fighter? Because they want to see what they know.
That's the difference. And this is why we try to bring back that kind of community with the arcade. So like, we looked at loads of different venues. So that one in there was totally derelict. It had no wall, no ceiling, no electric, no floors. It had nothing in there at all. It was literally just brick walls and water coming in. So we went to look at the one over the road, Chiquitos, which is right next to the cinema. So it looks amazing and all that kind of stuff. But it was strange because when I walked into it, it felt like an old school arcade. Yeah. It was dull. There was no windows. Felt like I was inside something. Yeah. So I was going to call this at first the basement arcade, because it feels like you walk down and you go into that kind of basement area. But it's just way better kind of atmosphere in them kind of venues. And plus, when you start to see the kids playing in there, it's strange to start seeing all the lights and they start getting into it more. The glow looks better. That's the only way I can. Yeah. There's nothing like the CRT glow.
That's why I think the Retro Realms approach is the right one. Make it accessible to the kids and have everyone playing together. Arcade bars are fun with your mates for a bit, but this feels like a more casual experience and at the same time a more meaningful one. Or you can just resurrect decades-old playground debates about Sega versus Nintendo. So you never focused, you just want everything?
I love everything. My favourite one, to be honest, was the Mega Drive. Oh, yeah. Because I think when the fairs used to come all them years ago, I don't know if you remember, the fairs used to bring the arcades. Yeah. So you'd see a fair come like Pat Collins and he'd bring the arcade and you'd have like, I can remember playing things like Alter Beast and Golden Axe, Super Hang-On. Then when they come onto the Mega Drive and the port looked so good, that gave you that original kind of arcade feel. So that's why I think I went to the Mega Drive. Above the Super Nintendo and the NES, it was the Mega Drive for me. Yeah,
it's just what you gravitated to when you were younger, kind of sticks with you, doesn't it? Yeah. I was always NES and SNES.
Mega Drive me. You might have one or the other. It's a bit like Star Wars and Star Trek.
Yeah, bring back the old 90s console war.
Yeah, I loved it. When you could say anything on telly. Sonic was faster than Mario and all that kind of stuff.
It would be very easy for this video to simply become an advert for the Retro Realm, but that's not the point. For one thing, statistically speaking, you're American. But also, if you're anywhere near Walsall and you're into retro games, you were always going to find this place and check it out regardless of what I say. Instead, I hope you'll think of what Craig's doing and think about what you can do to share your passions. Maybe just with those around you, maybe create something, or maybe start a business. I'm not making this video to advertise an arcade. I don't get anything out of that. I paid to get in, and there's no deal with the Retro Realm gone on here. But by talking about it, I benefit the same way that we all do, by connecting retro gamers together and encouraging one another to share our stories, our experiences, and our games. Part of me is still riding the high from when I was a kid and I realised that I could slip SNES games into my backpack and trade them with friends on the school playground. Gaming is, and always has been, about community.
Hello, this is Retro Sofa.
So Tommy, what do you like about this place?
I like that it's like really old-fashioned because there's loads of good games which I've never saw before.
Do you like retro games?
Yeah,
Do you like retro games because Uncle Bill plays them with you?
yeah.
What's your favourite retro game?
Maybe Mario.
Which Mario?
That one.
The one you were playing earlier?
Starting an arcade is a pretty big move to help that community and to keep it growing, but there are smaller things you can do too to share your passion with strangers or just with your family and friends. The best moment that I had at the Retro Realm isn't on camera. It's when me, my sister, my nephew and my wife got in a quick game of Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles when we arrived. The same game I used to play in a holiday park when I wasn't much older than Tommy. So parents, at a bare minimum, share your games with your kids, whether that's at home or at arcades like the Retro Realm. There's no better feeling than sharing something you love with the younger generation and seeing them love it too. So thanks to Craig and his family and the rest of his team for giving us a place to play together, and thanks to Tommy for coming along and co-presenting. Tommy,
What?
what's your favourite game you played?
Pac-Man.
Did you see Mummy playing Miss Pac-Man?
Yeah,
Are you better at Pac-Man than Mummy is?
of course. I'm playing the game.
You're playing... You're doing something. I don't know if you're playing the game. You're signing into Xbox Live. I'm sure we'll be seeing more of him in future. Thanks to Ultra Muffin for supporting the channel. Thanks to you for joining me on the Retro Sofa and for joining us at the Retro Realm. I'll give the last word to Craig to talk a little bit about what's coming up at the Retro Realm. And if you're ever in the West Midlands, do check them out. But if that's not realistic, then just make sure you're sharing your games and sharing your passion. Take care. What have you got planned then for the next year?
So next year we've got some really good machines coming in. We've got Guitar Hero coming on, we've got a 4-player Outrun 2, we've got Crazy Taxi 1 and 3, Mario Kart Twin DX, we've got a DDR Dance Stage Revolution, we've got a Dance Central machine, Mario and Sonic at the Olympics will be back up and running hopefully from Sega. So yeah, we've got quite a few machines coming in, probably got about 50. We've got 4 containers of machines basically. We've got a lot of famous people coming over from the gaming industry. We've got the Mortal Kombat guys coming over. We're bringing them from America, Daniel and Carlos, them the guys who played Raiden, Sub-Zero, Reptile, Scorpion, Noob Sabu. Then after we've got the guys who played Resident Evil as well. From the original Resident Evil 1, we got them because I love the horror games. So they're coming over as well. So we've got like Jill Valentine, Barry Burton and Leon Kennedy. So,
So where am I going to find you online so I can keep track of all this?
Everything online is www.theretrorealm.co.uk, which is our website. Then we've got TikTok, which is the Retro Realm Arcade. We've also got Facebook, which is the Retro Realm. We've also got Instagram as well, which is the Retro Realm Arcade. Pleasure. Thanks a lot.